What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Saturday edition. We're going to break down every game that we have for today. We're going to look at it all. We're going to look at each game, pitcher, batter, stacks, everything you need for DFS. So if you've never been here before, it's a little bit longer video, probably a lot longer video than you're used to. We have chapters for you to skip around if you want. So we're going to break down those. At the end of the video, we're going to go over our 10,000 sims. We're going to give you all of the batters that currently have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through those simulations. After that, we are going to go over our pitches be crazy, where we look at the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most. Then we kind of look at the pitcher and we see if they kind of make sense for either DFS or sports betting. And then the final segment of the show will be Makin bacon bets. So what we do is we talk about everything we just did here. We look at our simulations. We look at ballpark factors, weather. We look at everything. And we try to give you some batters we think can get you 2+ bases today. And then after that, pitchers and then we'll try to target the pitchers for X amount of strikeouts in those games. So we try to bring everything for you. If you do need an abbreviated version, you can go to FTA Plus here. Check it out. Under the MLB tab, we've got everything from batter splits down to prop bets, bullpen stats, everything that can make you a better DFS player. So if you cannot afford to sign up for FTA Plus, just every one of you that's watching this, if you could hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, bell notification would help. Watching the entire video, maybe a couple of times a day, in the background, don't even need to be watching it. The runtime would help us out. All of that helps the algorithm out, and it would be very appreciative if you can. So we've had a lot of people, big winners lately, and you guys have been posting in our Discord, which you can find down below. We still have a couple spots left. I'm still waiting on some emails. We have our Mother's Day special still going on. So if you want that $199 yearly pass for $100 off, first come, first serve, the next couple of people, and then it is gone. So make sure you get in while you can. So if you are so new to the channel, we have giveaways, 2 giveaways every single video, or we try to. Here's how to win. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. This video gets at least 50 likes. You will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. So that is a week of all sports. So current sports that are in, MLB, NASCAR, MMA, and PGA. We've got MMA today as well. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a shot at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a $500 lifetime pass. And the second way to win, somewhere in this video, there'll be a keyword or key phrase. Be on the lookout for it, type it in, and have your second shot at a free week. So even if this first winner has the keyword from Friday's video, we're still going to re-roll it. And the winner is Kurt Mahler 7012. Congratulations, Kurt. I know you have an account on the website. All I need you to do, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Let me know that you are the 516 views winner, and we'll get your account set up for your free week. Now, the keyword was water, but we're still going to re-roll it, so you still have a 1 in 35 shot to win here. And hands up, see if it's a new winner or someone the same. Love me some good water. Eyesight videography. I think this might be the first time you've won, so congratulations if that is. If that is true and you are the first winner or first time you've won, all I need you to do is email me. The email is in the description. I've already said it. Tell me if you have a username on the site. If you do not, let me know your username, email, and password, and we will get you set up for your free week. So congratulations to both of you. And as always, we're going to use outlier.bet. The link is in the description to sign up. You sign up after 7 days for their normal package. We're going to give you a free week of FTA Plus on us. If you sign up using our link with their premium package, we're going to give you 1 month of FTA Plus on top of everything. So that being said, we're just going to go down the list. And if you've never seen what Outlier has to do, buckle up because you are in for a treat. So we do have an early slate. It's a 5-game early slate. We do have some weather concern with the Yankees, Mets at the Yankees. We're still going to cover it. We're going to look at it. It's kind of wild to see like all these games here. And then Matt Boyd is the #1 priced pitcher. Just kind of like what we saw yesterday, Cade Horton. I said I liked him a little bit. He then went out and shoved against Chicago White Sox. So all things considered, it was a pretty good day Friday for us. So here's what we do. We go through, we look at the games. And again, you can go through back and forth. So we got Clark Schmidt versus Griffin Canning. So Griffin Canning being the visitor, it's got a 2.36 ERA on the year, which is a great. He's got a 5-1 record. He's hit value a ton. The Yankees are striking out 4th most out of any team. So it is a good matchup for him. If we look at what he has done in the past against them, 46 plate appearances, a 333. We kind of saw what they were able to do with Tyler Meagle and the Mets bullpen on Friday night. Could kind of see the same kind of thing here. He's obviously not faced the Yankees before or on this year, When he's pitching at home, he's got a 171. When he is on the road, it's a 3 ERA. This is not the easiest place to pitch in. I fully expect it, just like Friday, to be like an playoff atmosphere series here where, booing Soto, getting very loud, just like we saw in the World Series, like we saw in the Division Series and the Championship Series last year. Personally, I'm not going to have any Griffin Canning. Clark Schmidt he's an enigma to me. 21 plate appearances against the Mets, 353 batting average. He didn't strike any of those batters out that he's faced. Comes in at 4.73 ERA. Like, he had and I've mentioned this, and before the last 2 starts, and last year, he's had a hard time going a full 6 innings. He's now gone back-to-back 6 innings. This does scare me, though, because the Mets offense is really good. I think this kind of be a trap. I don't think I want to pay $8,200 for Clark Schmidt. And the weather's a concern. So we'll kind of monitor the weather there. But I'm probably just focused on the bats. Against Clark Schmidt, the Mets bats, like Lindor does have a home run. That is it. Soto's never faced him before, but they do hit righties very well. So you could look at Francisco Alvarez. You could look at Pete Alonso batting .313. You got Francisco Lindor batting .307. You've got Tyrone Taylor would be a cheap option. You do have Juan Soto back in the Bronx against a righty pitcher. He's hit 7 home runs this year, but he is only batting .228 against righties. So it's all things considered. Like, you could throw in Brett Beatty as well a little bit. I don't know about Mark Vientos, but you could put him in there. And then the Yankees bats against Canning. Like, you have Paul Goldschmidt with the home run. You got Judge with the home run. Judge is dominant right now, getting on base, stealing or getting some steals. I'm all in on the Yankees stack here as well. Pretty much the only one I wouldn't want to play is Pablo Reyes. I don't think he'll start, but you never know. But yeah, Dominguez, Grisham, Judge, Goldie, like, these are all ones, Austin Wells, these are all ones that I am 100% good on. I'm probably, like, pitching-wise, I'm avoiding this game pitching-wise, plus the weather's not the best. I would stack. I obviously give the advantage to the Yankees, but the Mets are pretty damn good as well. So we look at this game. We got Matt Boyd versus Sean Burke. Matt Boyd coming in 2.78 ERA. I really have no idea how he's pitching as good as he is. He was pretty good for Cleveland down the stretch last year, and it got him this contract. He's in a great spot. He has kind of kept up what he did. Has not faced the White Sox this year. In his career against the White Sox, 34 plate appearances, a 242 batting average, struck out 47.1% of those batters. I like him. I do not want the White Sox, and I will take a Cubs stack. Pretty much everyone in this game, in this lineup for the Cubs, minus like Justin Turner. Everyone else I'm all in on, like PCA, Michael Busch, Nico Horner, everyone that comes in this list. Just kind of wait to see, but I'm not looking at the White Sox. Now, I can be wrong. There are times I am wrong. I don't think I'm wrong in this one. I am leaning, this is mine, and I'll eat crow if I need to, kind of like I did with Javi Baez. But I would lean Matt Boyd, and I would lean the Cubs as an offensive stack. Just maybe even the Cubs 2+ stack. It really depends on what we've got going. So then we got Detroit at the Blue Jays. It is not confirmed, at least on Baseball Savant, if it is Eric Lauer. But he did last pitch on Sunday. Yeah, so Jose Urena was a starter there. Then they pulled him after 2 innings. So it could be one of those things again. It's kind of hard to look at that. I don't know. Like, it depends if Eric Lauer is going to be the starter or if they're going to kind of pull the opener again, which it's kind of what it probably could be. But I'm all in on Reese Olson against them, and I am looking at Detroit as a stack. So pretty much everyone is game for me with Detroit. It does not matter. Wait for the lineup to come out, especially, though, if it is... so if it is Lauer, obviously you want to kind of focus on the batters that do well against righties. But it's not an outlier right now because it's not confirmed who the pitcher is. So outlier doesn't have the game to break down because they don't know if they need to go against lefty or righty, which completely makes sense. So fully expect if you want to sign up for outlier, you can check out how they do stats wise once it has been confirmed. But I would be looking at Reese Olson, who has 24 plate appearances against the Blue Jays, 0.091 ERA, 4.2 K percentage. So the K percentage is low. I would look at Detroit as a stack and Reese Olson over Eric Lauer or Jose Urena or whoever is going to be starting this game. Then Washington and Baltimore is the next game. You got Jake Irvin versus Kyle Gibson. Gibson's got a 13 ERA. He's had obviously a terrible start to start the season. He's not good. Washington's a really good hitting team. I'm all over stacking against Kyle Gibson. Jake Irvin got a 4 ERA. His number 70, 34 plate appearance, 258. I'm probably looking at the offenses over everything else. I do give the advantage to Washington offense, James Wood, CJ Abrams, depending on just who's out there. See if anyone's had success. Like Nate Lowe's got 2 home runs. I want Nate Lowe. He had a home run on Friday for us. I want Nate Lowe, CJ Abrams, James Wood. Against right-hander, Luis Garcia, you could look at. You could look at, I don't know if he'll play. Dylan Cruz, only batting 191, but does have 5 home runs against righties. So you could look at Josh Bell, only batting 173, but hits better against righties and has 5 bombs. I'm all in on a Washington stack. Do not overthink it. There's no way Kyle Gibson has a good game. No way. If Kyle Gibson has a good game, and by good, I mean he's got to hit, what is this? Kyle Gibson is 6,200. If Kyle Gibson can get 15 fantasy points, I will give away, and you got to comment this. You got to say, I think Kyle Gibson's going to get at least 15 fantasy points on DraftKings. If Kyle Gibson gets that, I will give away 1 month free to someone who comments that. So there's no way. So I would look at the stack there. In the Baltimore against Jake Irvin, no one's really had success. Against right-handed pitching, though, they are hitting well. Gunnar Henderson, I'd look at. Mountcastle, Ryan O'Hearn. You could look at Kierstead, who would be a cheaper option. Adley Rushman, you could look at. Jackson Holiday. I'm all in. I like stacking here. I'm not looking at the pitching, especially early. I would definitely look at Washington as they've got the leg up on everything right now. Then Tampa Bay versus Miami, you got Sandy Alcantara. We did take him against the White Sox, and I said if he doesn't do good against them, probably never going to use him again, and he's kind of washed. And I mean, he gave up 4 earned runs. He had 8 strikeouts, but 3 walks. So if he did not have those earned runs or walks, we're probably looking at 25 fantasy points out of him. So outside of that, like he's given up a ton of earned runs this year. 8 ERA. I know Tampa Bay's been bad. In his career, 35 plate appearances, 323 against them. I mean, they haven't seen him much, but he just looks, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. Then you got Rasmussen. Really, like he's given up a ton of earned runs there as well. I'm probably avoiding this game. Probably looking at Tampa Bay stack like Brandon Lau, Aranda, just depending on the lineup that comes out. You could look at Ben Rortvedt. I don't know if he'll be in. You could look at him. No one's really faced him, though, on this team. Like Aranda batting 353 makes sense. Caminero batting 269 with 6 bombs. Brandon Lau batting 252. Yandy Diaz batting 278. Like, I'm okay with that. Misner would be a cheap option. Chandler Simpson, just to get on and steal bases. I'm okay with that. And then Miami bats against Rasmussen, really haven't seen him. Like Augustin Ramirez, I love. Liam Hicks, I will put in there. Connor Norby, I'd look at. Xavier Edwards. Simon, I would look at a little bit. Kyle Stowers has 10 bombs. 272 batting average against righties. I think this could be a sneaky stack. I think Miami could be a sneaky stack in this early slate. So just kind of reiterate here, pitching-wise for this early slate. I'm not using Burke. I'm not really using Lauer. I'm hell no on Gibson. No on Canning. No on Irvin. It's pretty much just Boyd, Olsen, and Schmidt for me. Actually, it's probably more just Boyd and Olsen and just doing different stacks for the 5-game slate. And then if this game gets rained out, it's still those 2 pitchers. And then you go stacks different way. Probably Detroit would be my number 1 there. Or Washington would be my number 1. Detroit probably my number 2 there. The Cubs are probably my number 3. So the early slate, we are good to go there. This little slate, Pittsburgh at Philly, and then Cleveland at Cincinnati. It's ugly. I don't even want to cover it. I don't play this turbo slate. It's Zach Wheeler, and then they don't know if it's Saccone yet. Majinski makes no sense to me, and then Petty has been terrible. So I'm avoiding this. Sports betting wise, I would look at the Phillies and look at some of the batters that can get 2+ bases there, and then Wheeler, whatever his strikeout line is, I would look there. Don't even worry about this slate. Take the break in between the early slate and the main slate, because this is a bad 2-game slate with the terrible pitching. There's nothing I want more than to forget that this slate exists. So now we're at the main slate. We're going to cover the main slate. We got Houston at Texas as our first game on the main slate. We got Tyler Mahle versus Ronel Blanco. We'll look at Tyler Mahle. I mean, sub 150 ERA. He just keeps having great games. Like, he didn't do much against Boston, but I believe he had to leave after a rain delay. So he got 4.3. So not much going on. But then you get him now against a Houston team. They're pretty good. Career-wise, 50 plate appearances against him, 217 batting average. He's just, I don't understand how he's been as good as he's been. He's getting the run support behind him. Got a 4-1 record. He's got 37 strikeouts. Strikeouts are kind of hit or miss, though. That's the only unfortunate thing. It's priced, though. I don't know if I want to pay up that much, especially against this Houston offense. He has had success. It always scares me a little. And then you got Ronel Blanco coming in. We used him his last game against Cincy, and I told you guys, let's go with him. 8 innings, 11 Ks, 42.2. I don't think he's not going to mirror that here. I don't think. Still has a 4 ERA. So for people who are kind of newer to the channel, when we look at value, especially on DraftKings and pitching, I am looking at 2.5 to 3.5 times value for your pitcher. So we're looking at 7,800 times 2.5 or 7,800 times 3 or 3.5. And that's kind of the floor basis that I would look at. Now, if you think he can get that, that's great. Let's just, for instance, say 7,800 times 3.5. So we need 27.3. So 27 fantasy points. Now, he has not hit that all year. 2.5 times value, yes, he's hit that. 20 plus. Basically, on DraftKings, you need realistically 25 plus fantasy points out of both of your pitchers if you want to take a GPP down. So Texas, their offense is up and down. Sometimes they have really good games. Sometimes they don't. So if we were to take not either of these pitchers, and because I think people are going to be on Tyler Mahle a little bit, but if we take like Houston bats against him, like McCormick does have a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, Pena batting .317 with 5 bombs, Walker with 4 bombs, Altuve with 4 bombs, Jake Myers, 293 batting average with 2 bombs. He's there. Yonder Diaz, 2 home runs as well. Paredes, 287 batting average, 6 home runs. Like, these would be the ones I'd look at. And then Texas bats against Blanco, like Josh Young has a home run, Josh Smith has a home run, and Jonah Heim has a home run. So all the J's, maybe it's a J day. Maybe you would go Jonah Heim. This would be a huge, I wonder what this bet would look like. You know what? I'm going to pause this video real quick. I am curious if I were to take a same game parlay of all the J names to hit a home run against Ronel Blanco, how much it would be. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to see if I can find this. All right, they don't have the lines out for home runs yet, unfortunately, but I'm very curious. So if you guys do it like for $1, let me know. Jonah Heim, Jock Peterson, Jake Berger, Josh Young, and Josh Smith all to hit a home run. It's not going to happen, but I'm curious what a 5-leg same game parlay odds would be. They've got to be over $1 million, especially those guys. It's got to be. I'm very curious. But yeah, I'm looking at stacking the guys. So then you look at like Josh Young batting .308, Josh Smith batting .323, Adolis Garcia batting .244, Wyatt Langford, home runs, steals, bases. He is all there as well. So I'm looking at all those guys. I am definitely looking at a stack on both sides. I don't trust the other pitchers enough. Tyler Mahle, maybe he proves me wrong, but he needs to get about 25 here. I just don't trust that against Houston in this one. St. Louis at Kansas City is next. Who on earth? Kansas City has got Seth Lugo. No. Oh, it was supposed to be Seth Lugo, but it's going to be Noah Cameron. So Cameron comes in. He did 6.1 innings at the end of April, 3-0 game, 6.1 innings, 3 Ks, but did have 5 walks. So he still got 20.7 fantasy points. He was 4K. They sent him down. He's now 8K against St. Louis. Too high for me because the walks were there. He's got great stuff in the minors maybe, but I just don't trust that. And then Michaelis comes in, 4.35 ERA, is coming off 21 fantasy points against Washington. But I mean, he's been up and down. It's in Kansas City. A plus side is it is a pitcher's ballpark. He's 5,800. So basically he only needs to get like 15 fantasy points, and he's been able to do that a few times. So maybe you throw him in tournaments, or maybe you want to see what the bats look like against him, or what the bats look like on both sides of the ball here. So if we look at the batters against Michaelis here, Jonathan India does have 3 home runs. You got Hunter Renfroe with a home run. they're doing well. Against right-handed pitching, you do have Sal Perez, 233 batting average with 20 bombs, but he does have 20 RBI, or 2 bombs, but he has 20 RBI. So he's in good spots there. You got Pasquantino, 230 batting average, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. Bobby Witt batting 302. You got Kyle Isbell batting 292. You got Drew Waters batting 293. All of these make sense to me. I'm personally not going to have Miles. And then St. Louis, it is Noah Cameron. It is against a righty. So I would look at Nolan Arenado. I would look at Donovan Contreras, probably a little bit of Lars Nootbaar, and especially Victor Scott if he gets in there. Would be a cheap option there. Pitching-wise, I'm fading the pitching there, and I'm going a different direction with other games, but I will have a little bit of exposure to the bats in that. Atlanta at Boston is next. We do have some weather concern, though. You do have Grant Holmes going up against Boston, who he's never faced him before, and Boston strikes out the 3rd most out of any team. And then you have Giolito, who we have stacked against in his career against the Braves, 43 plate appearances, a 375 batting average, and 23.3 K percentage. Giolito comes in with almost a 5 ERA. He is coming off a great game against Kansas City, but I've stacked against him. I'm looking to stack against him here. I don't trust him. I don't care. 7,500 is too much for me. I'm still looking. He probably needs to be under 7 or maybe even 6,500 for me to even consider. Grant Holmes, a little bit for tournaments because he is 7,200. He's never faced them before, and Boston does strike out 9.24 times per game. So it makes sense in that aspect. But if you're just completely avoiding the game pitching-wise, I would lean at Atlanta bats. So Matt Olson has 3 bombs against him. He is 4 for 7. 3 of those hits are home runs. Austin Riley has a home run against him. And then we break it down even further. Against right-handed pitching, Baldwin batting 373. You've got Marcell Ozuna batting 276 with 6 bombs. Albies has 5 bombs. And then we have Matt Olson. We have Austin Riley. Then you come down. You got Michael Harris, who can steal bases and hit home runs. Verdugo batting 291. Eli White batting 296. Like, today feels like Braves, 2+ different stacks. I'm okay with that, especially with the short porch in left field. And you can punch the ball out in right field, right across that foul pole. Shorter distance than any other ballpark in the world here that is not a Little League field. So I'm looking at the Braves offense. But again, Boston offense is good too. Devers, if he's not in his own head, Jarren Duran, Alex Bregman, all of these make sense to me. Against Grant Holmes, just a little bit too. So then the next game got Minnesota at Milwaukee. Correa did get put on the IL on Friday or after I made the video. Buxton still not in, I don't believe. Let's see. Yeah, day to day. So I don't know if he'll be in there, but Carlos Correa is out. But we do have Pablo Lopez versus Tobias Myers. Lopez, 58 plate appearances, a 280 batting average against the Brewers. And then Tobias Myers, 10 plate appearances, really hasn't seen anything. You do have Pablo coming in, 277. He's been really good. Did have an off game against San Francisco, gave up 4 earned runs there, which is the most amount of earned runs he's given up all year. Now he goes into Milwaukee. If you look at splits, away games, he's got a 196, so he has been better on the road. I think he's sneaky at 97. I don't want to say he's sneaky at 9,700, but if you're paying up, I don't mind paying up for him. And then Myers, 386 ERA, 1-0 record. He hasn't done much. Not enough to feel comfortable using him. So I'm probably looking at Pablo Lopez, and I'm probably looking at the Twins offense over anything else. Now, if Buxton's back in there, yeah, 100%, we'd look at him. Against Myers, they really haven't seen him. Against righties this year, like Ryan Jeffers batting 253, I would use him if he starts. Willie Castro for 247. Ty France is a little bit sneakier, 270 batting average, 3 home runs. Brooks Lee at 254. Harrison Bader, 313. Trevor Larnach, 258. I love a Twins stack today. That's where I'm going in this game. I would look at the Twins, and I would look at Pablo Lopez over Tobias Myers and the Brewers. So the next game, we've got Colorado, Arizona, German Marquez versus Zach Gallen. I'm taking Zach Gallen because the Colorado Rockies are striking out 9.95 times on the road. They're the worst team in baseball. They might be historically the worst team ever at the end of the year. I would look at Zach Gallen, and I would look at Arizona's offense. So Ketel Marte, if he's in there, I know he was day-to-day. I would look at Josh Naylor. I would look at Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Pavin Smith, Corbin Carroll, obviously. He's very expensive, but he is in there as well. Perdomo. Basically, this entire Arizona offense, I would look at 2+ different stacks out of them. I do not trust Colorado. I do not want German Marquez because he comes in with an 8.27 ERA, We've stacked against him every game. San Diego did screw us over. He 7 innings against them. Whatever. Thanks a lot, San Diego. You know what Ron Burgundy says. Yourself, yep. But then, I mean, he's had worse games. It's been bad for him. Arizona at home, I want all of that smoke with an Arizona stack. Seattle at San Diego is the next game. Got Nick Pivetta versus Emerson Hancock. Pivetta coming off is his worst outing of the year. 1 fantasy point. 4 innings, 6 earned runs at Colorado. Again, Colorado's a bad team, but anything can happen within the friendly confines of Coors. But I mean, then he had a bad game against the Cubs. Other than that, he's been spectacular, minus the game against the Yankees because their offense is good as well. So he is coming off back-to-back bad games. He is now going up against Seattle. 94 plate appearances against this offense, giving up a 301 batting average at 10,100. While he can shove, I don't know if I want to pay 10,100 for a matchup here. And then Hancock coming in really hasn't done enough to warrant even feeling good. Against the Yankees, 8 hits allowed, 7 earned runs. He just absolutely got smoked by them. Now he's going up against San Diego in San Diego. I'd rather take the offense for San Diego. So for Mariners' sake, you're looking at well, we can look real quick. We're looking at J-Rod. I'm okay with it. He's still priced up considering. But Cal Raleigh, I'm all on. Cal Raleigh's batting 4 for 10. 3 of those 4 hits are home runs against Nick Pivetta. You got Polanco with 2 bombs. You got Tellez with a home run. You got Randy Arozarena batting 391 with 2 home runs against Pivetta. This just feels like, I think people are going to be on Pivetta, but you guys are going to be smart because you're watching these videos. I'm stacking San Diego here, or Mariners here. And then San Diego against Emerson Hancock, they haven't seen them. But then you kind of look at this like Cronenworth, 294, Gavin Sheets, 308. Like these guys are great. And then you got your Jackson Merrill, your Tatis, then your Machado. All of these make sense. Hitting Luis Ariz, Elias Diaz, San Diego. I'm stacking this game batting wise. I want nothing to do with the pitching. Give me all of the bats. Pretty much all the bats in that one. Athletics at the San Francisco Giants is next. Now, this is a pitcher's ballpark. It's Sevy versus Raup. So, yeah, Sevy coming in, 6-7 plate appearance, 138. Coming off is it his worst start of the year? Minus 10.2. Yeah, it's his worst start. He went up against his former team, gave up 8 earned runs, and I broke that down exactly how it happened. In that video last week, I said I would lean towards the Yankees because they know what Sevy wants to pitch and what counts, how he pitches, what he looks like when he's pitching, doing certain pitches, because he was in their organization for so many years. Could he have a bounce back game here against the Giants? He could. 67 plate appearances, a 138 in a pitcher's ballpark. Maybe he has a bounce back. He's 7,700. He's a little bit cheaper. Just hopefully he gets the run support behind him. Then Raup comes in, 4.95 ERA. Kind of the same thing. Has not hit value outside of 3 games here, or 4 games, but all early, all before April 19th. April 20th happened. He blazed it. He said 420, blaze it, and he's blazed his ERA all the way up to 5. I do not trust him. I would look at the Athletics. I would look. I'm okay with Sevy for tournaments, but I would look at the Athletics offense a little bit more. Just I don't trust Landon at all. Against him, they've never faced him. Against righties this year, you do have Nick Kurtz batting 320, Schumann batting 296, Soderstrom batting 285, but has 9 bombs. Jacob Wilson batting 348 with 5 bombs. Butler 258 with 5 bombs. Got Brent Rooker. This makes sense to me. The Athletics as a stack. Probably 2+ different stacks there. And Sevy as my pitcher. I want nothing to do with Raup. And right now, through 10,000 sims, I don't want anything to do with the Giants. And then final one, we've got the Angels at the Dodgers. Now we've got the Angels are the team that strikes out the most right now. Kershaw coming off the IL. Tyler Anderson versus Kershaw. Now, I don't know if it's in fact going to be Kershaw out there for an X amount of time. I'm very curious if he's going to be on like a short leash. 7 starts with the Dodgers last year. Yeah, some sort of pitch count. That's the problem. Now, he's got great stuff. 62 plate appearances against this team in his career, 127 batting average. He's been very good against them. It's how far is he going to go into this game? That's my problem. I will have a little bit of exposure to him, but he just scares me a little bit. Then Tyler Anderson, 258 ERA. In his career, 133 plate appearances, 267. Tournament-wise, Tyler Anderson, because everyone's going to be on the Dodgers, I'm okay with. But the Dodgers against him, like Betts has a home run, Freeman has a home run, Kike has a home run, Muncy has 2. Ohtani has 1. Against left-handed pitching, Ohtani batting 352. Cheap option, Conforto, Chris Taylor, and Miguel Rojas. Will Smith batting 393. And then you've got your Kike, Freeman, and Betts. Like, Dodgers make sense as a stack. Now, while that makes sense, maybe we throw in Tyler Anderson for a cheaper throwaway pick because he comes in, but he's 8,200 against this offense. That's the only thing that iffy. If he was like 8 or like 7,000 or below, I might look at that. So Dodgers stack makes the most sense here. Kershaw for tournaments because we just do not know how far he will go. And there you have it. That is the breakdown of all the games. We got the early slate. We're skipping that afternoon slate. And we got your main slate broken down. We are now going to go over all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Now, these are through 10,000 sims. The record is 38. We're not going to beat it today. One day we will beat it. But we are going to give you all the batters right now. Looking at the top, it's not a surprise. It's been at the top almost every single game. It's Aaron Judge versus Griffin Canning, number 1. Number 2 is Kyle Tucker. Number 3 is Corbin Carroll. Number 4 is Bryson Stott. Number 5 is Kyle Schwarber. 6 is Fernando Tatis. 7 is Bobby Witt Jr. 8, Seiya Suzuki. 9, Eugenio Suarez. 10, Ketel Marte. 11, Jackson Merrill. 12, Pavin Smith. 13, Michael Busch. 14, Juan Soto. 15, Jonathan Aranda. 16, Salvi Perez. 17, Jake Cronenworth. 18, Geraldo Perdomo. 19, Nico Horner. 20, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 21, John Birdie. 22, Vinny Pasquantino. 23, Luis Ariz. And 24, Nolan Schanuel against Clayton Kershaw. So those are the 10 out of 10 through 10,000 sims. Now, they can and most likely will change throughout the day once more news comes out, if the weather shapes up a little bit differently, or after we do our 20,000 simulations, things will happen. Like the lineups will come out and it'll be updated. So we usually update that by the main slate about an hour or two before the main slate locks, just to get up any of the news, notes, and anything we may have missed throughout the day before the lineups lock and then the games start. So those are your 10 out of 10. The pitches be crazy is a little bit different. And you can kind of see, I don't love all of these. In fact, I don't really like most of them. But number 1 is Clayton Kershaw versus the Angels. The Angels strike out the most out of any team. They're striking out 9.79 times per game, 9.65 on the road. Zach Gallen is number 2, probably one of my favorite pitchers of the day. 9 points. He's going up against Colorado. Colorado is striking out 9.72 times per game. They're striking out an astronomical 9.95 times on the road. Number 3 is Grant Holmes at Boston. This one does scare me a little bit, but Grant Holmes Boston strikes out 9.24 times per game, striking out 8.3 on at home. Number 4, Griffin Canning at the Yankees. The Yankees do strike out 9.12 times per game, but when they're at home, they're only striking out 7.81. So they have been better at home. I do not trust him. I'm not using him. And then number 5 is Slade Ciccone versus Cincinnati. It's actually in Cincy, which always scares me because of this ballpark. Cincy is striking out 8.96 times a game, but only 7.86 times at home. So the ones that I like, Zach Gallen makes sense to me, and that's pretty much the only one. I would love to say Clayton Kershaw. I just do not know how deep he's going to go into this game, and that's the part where I'm very, very curious to see. If he could go 5 or 6 innings, I think he could get 7 or 8 strikeouts. But again, it's going to be pitch count dependent, and they're going to pull him pretty early given his injury history and stuff like that. So those are your top 5 as of right now: Clayton Kershaw, Zach Gallen, Grant Holmes, Griffin Canning, and Slade Ciccone. Okay, so now we're going to do our final segment, Makin Bacon Bets. We're going to look at all the games that we think could have 2+ bases, or all the players we think. The current one right now through 10,000 sims has the Nats and the Orioles with over 34 bases, and we're going to talk about that. So number 1 that I do like in that game, Ryan Mountcastle, Gunnar Henderson, and Adley Rutschman, all for Baltimore. Next one is number 4, Aaron Judge. 5 is Bobby Witt Jr. 6 is Bryson Stott. 7 is C.J. Abrams. 8, Fernando Tatis Jr. 9, Eugenio Suarez. 10, Jackson Merrill. And 11, all of these I think could get over 1.5 bases, Luis Ariz versus Emerson Hancock. Now, I'm not saying parlay all those together, but 3 or 4 of them, I don't mind those whatsoever. And then kind of just looking at pitchers and strikeouts here. Zach Wheeler in that game against Pittsburgh, if the weather holds up, if you can find a line for 7+ or even 8+, I would look at that. Zach Gallen versus Colorado, 7+ strikeouts for him. If you could find 7, I'm okay with that. Matt Boyd versus the White Sox. If you could find a line for 6+ strikeouts, I enjoy that. And then Pablo Lopez versus the Brewers, a line of 5+ or even maybe go up to 6+ strikeouts. I am okay with that for Pablo Lopez. So before we finish, if you're still listening, the keyword of the day is sweet. It is sweet. So that's what we've got. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps us out more than you guys understand. We had a huge huge month in April for engagement, subs, and Google ads. You guys absolutely killed it with sharing and liking the videos and clicking on the ads. All of that helps us out. If you have any questions, get those down below. If you can't ask them here, you want to ask them somewhere else, you can hit us up in our free Discord down below. Everything else is in the description of this video. So let's have a fantastic Saturday. Depending on when you watch this video, you can still catch our MMA content that is out there for you as well. So have a fantastic Saturday. Good luck. And as always,